Okay, so we have multiple breaking news coming out. We're going to start with this one first. President Donald Trump has just ordered a blockade of sanctions oil tankers in and out of Venezuela. This is a big breaking news here, guys. We have some more information coming out. Elon Musk warns that money will disappear. Money will disappear in the future as AI makes work and salaries irrelevant. Alright, so here's the thing, guys. For those of you that don't know, this is basically the mark. This is the beast system. Alright, no money, obviously, AI comes in. And you guys already know the chip, the device, the stamp. And you guys know it leads to the mark of the beast. Breaking news. US military under investigation over claims it weaponized ticks to spread insidious pestilence. Alright, so we're going to get to all this news here, guys. Here's another one. Look out, what's being called a super pestilence is sweeping the sleeping giant country as cases skyrocket in major cities, forcing school closures and the mask mandates to return. All right, so we're going to get to all this news here, guys. And yeah, what in the world is that thing? Mysterious demon monolith adorned with screaming faces and twisted bodies appear in California desert. It goes to tell you guys that in the end time, Jesus is right. There will be many lawlessness, and there will be many wars, and there will be pestilence, and there will be famines, and there will be earthquake, and so many things to come. And people need to start repenting spiritually, physically, and mentally. Before I start, guys, for those of you that want to send us letters or prayer requests, you can send it to me, US Santiago, or my wife, Jessica Santiago, at 3432 US Highway 19, number 2, Holiday, Florida, 34691. And for those of you that want to help and support the channel, we do have the Cash App link and the PayPal link in the comments box and also description box. Once again, thank you so much for your support. So we're going to start with this one here. Elon Musk warns that money will disappear. Well, we've seen that now. The pennies, gone. Goodbye, pennies. You know, all this time, again, growing up, I used to not like pennies. But I'm going to miss them. Penny is the history of the U.S. And that's it, no more. And they start printing pennies. Nickels is going to be next. Dimes, quarter, dollars, and here comes the AI. Ladies and gentlemen, we are seeing the Antichrist spirits. I do believe so. People just not seeing it. They blinded. They're not seeing what's really going on. Everybody's just looking up to these individuals, but the Bible says that there will be many Antichrist spirits. A warning has been issued from one of the most influential architects of the modern technological age, and it carries implications far beyond economic. Elon has openly suggested that the era of work, wages, and even money itself may be nearing its end as artificial intelligence and automation advance at an unprecedented pace. So it had to take one man from the continent of Africa to come and completely change the system. It's not only him, but this other very powerful individuals that came together. They all together in this one here, guys. There's going to be Neuralink. There's going to be all these AIs. Donald is all about Bitcoin and getting rid of currency. We've seen it. MAGA, mega, not the way we were expecting. All right, mega. We keep this country the way it is. We don't want to transform it to all this technology stuff. Elon believes the foundation upon which modern society is built, human labor, may soon become obsolete, including the six-figure incomes once seen as a symbol of stability and success. So in other words, Elon's saying y'all don't have to work anymore because robots is going to work and you guys going to be set for life. But again, scripture tells us men got to work, provide for the family. That's the way it's supposed to be. God worked, God created the heaven and the earth, and on the seventh day he rested. It says here, excuse me guys, I'm still dealing with this bronchitis. According to this vision, machines will merely assist humanity. They will replace it. Artificial intelligence and robotics are rapidly evolving to perform tasks faster, cheaper, and more efficiently than people ever could. I'm going to miss working. I'm going to miss waking up 6 in the morning, grabbing a cup of coffee, going to work. From factories and transportation networks to offices and creative industries, the march of automation is relentless. What was once science fiction is now unfolding in real time, threatening to erase the economic relevance of human effort altogether. Wow. In such a world, the ancient bargain between labor and survival collapses. Work will no longer guarantee provision, and skill will no longer ensure security. I know a lot of people that collect the snap, they love this one here. Here's the thing, guys. I love to work. I do. I truly do. I don't want nobody taking care of me. I take care of myself. I take care of my family. I don't need no easy way out. Money, long regarded as the lifeblood of civilization, could lose its meaning if humans no longer generate economic value. Elon foresees a future where abundance is produced entirety by machines, leaving society to grapple with a question humanity has never faced before. What happens when people are no longer needed to keep the world running? The proposed answer is both alluring and unsettling. Human needs, Elon suggests, could be met automatically through centralized system of distribution. Food, shelter, healthcare, and energy will be provided without the requirement of employment. This vision promises freedom from toil, yet it is also raises haunting question about control, dependence, and power. When survival is no longer earned but allocated, who decides the terms? I'm looking at something here. I want to bring this up really quick. AI, the Antichrist, and the end times. I do believe this is the mark. This is the mark. Again, in order to live this world, you have to take the stamp. You have to take that stamp, right hand or forehead, meaning that you pledge allegiance to the Antichrist, to the world system. Do you want all these goodies? You don't have to work. All you got to do is accept this term right here. Do you pledge allegiance to the... It says here, supporters hailed this future as a technological Eden, a world where humans are finally liberated from drudgery and free to pursue creativity, meaning, and self-expression. They are automation as the final triumph of progress, ushering in an age of unprecedented leisure and prosperity. To them, the disappearance of money is not a loss, but an evolution. But what happens if the lights goes off? What happens if there's an EMP? Or worse, what happens if the sun releases a coronal mass ejection that will take out everything? What happened? The economy will crash. Everything will be messed up. It says here, yet critics hear something far more ominous. In this prophecy, they warn that money is not merely a tool, but a reflection of freedom and choice. Remove it, and society may drift towards a system where autonomy is exchanged for security. History offers sobering lessons about centralized control, especially when power is concentrated and accountability fades. A world without money may also be a world where permission replaces opportunity. Economists caution that while technology has always disrupted labor, it has never rendered humanity economically irrelevant, and every industrial revolution has destroyed jobs while creating new ones, often in ways impossible to predict. Still, even they concede that artificial intelligence represents something fundamentally different, an intelligence that does not tire, does not age, and does not demand compensation. What emerges from Elon Musk's declaration is not merely a forecast but a crossroads. As artificial intelligence accelerates, humanity stands on the brink of transformation that may redefine purpose itself. If work disappears, what anchors identity? If money vanishes, what governs value? And if machines inherit the world, where does that leave mankind? Elon's playing a huge role in Bible prophecy. So what are your thoughts on that? Leave comments down below. Let's see what's going on with this news here, guys. The US military under investigation over claims it weaponized ticks to spread insidious pestilence. Let's see what's going on here. Once again, hit that like, hit that subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Thank you for your support. I really appreciate it, guys. It says here, in mid-December 2025, renewed debate over the origins of, I'm going to say, pestilence. The halls of Congress after lawmakers approved a provision calling for a federal investigation into whether the U.S. military ever experimented with ticks as a biological equipment. The measures was included in the fiscal year 2026 National Defense Authorization Act and directs the Gov Accountability Office to examine historical military and Gov research programs involving ticks and tick-borne pathogens. Now, the investigation focuses on activities that may have occurred between 1945 and 1972, a period when the U.S. operated an extensive biological warfare research program. Lawmakers want to review to determine whether ticks or the bacteria they carry were ever studied, modified, or deployed for potential use in warfare, and whether, say, any such research could have had unintended long-term consequences for public health. The amendment was introduced by Representative Chris Smith of New Jersey, who chairs the Congressional Land and Tick-Borne Pestilence Caucus. Now, Smith has long expressed concern over the prevalence of pestilence in his state and has argued that the American public deserves full transparency about any past Gov research that could be connected to this illness. He has emphasized that the investigation is meant to establish facts, not promote speculation, and could either confirm or definitely refute claims that had circulated for decades. Interest interest in is the issue intensified after the publication of a 2019 book that explored the history of pestilence and Cold War biological weapon research. The book highlights the work of Willie, the scientist credited with identifying a bacterium that causes this pestilence. Once again, Willie previously participated in Gov research programs that examined the use of insects and ticks as the pestilence carries. Well, one thing I tell you, we definitely seen some pestilence across America and other parts of the world, and it's really, really rising. We're gonna get to that one too, guys. That's the next one. They're basically shutting down schools. Closing schools and bringing the face mask. Accounts from that era have fueled claims that the ticks carrying pestilence may have escaped or been released during experimental testing. Some narrative described tests involving large number of ticks used to study how far they could spread in the environment. They said that it was released. It was basically, they make it sound like it was an accident. Here's the thing, guys. A lot of this stuff was meant to be released. These stories have contributed the ongoing speculation about whether modern pestilence could be linked to those programs. However, the scientific community has consistently rejected the idea that the pestilence originated as a U.S. bioweapon. Multiple studies have shown that the bacterium responsible for the pestilence existed in North America long before the Cold War military research began. Genetic evidence has been found in preserved ticks dating back decades earlier, undermining claims that the pestilence was artificially created or introduced by the military. Despite these findings, supporters of the investigation argued that a formal Gov review is still warranted. They contend that official documentation and historical records should be examined to provide transparency and closure for those affected by the pestilence. Previous attempts to mandate similar investigations passed the House in earlier years, but failed to advance in the Senate. Pestilence, again, I'm skipping the names, remains a major public health issue in the United States, with hundreds of thousands of estimated cases occurring annually. This pestilence can cause fever, fatigue, joint pain, neurological symptoms, and heart complications if left untreated. While prevention efforts focus on tick avoidance and early treatment, there is currently no widely available human remedy, underscoring the importance of continued research and public awareness. We are definitely seeing some pestilence, guys. Stuff like this you hear in movies, like the 80s and 90s movies, but for some reason, these movies are like foreshadowing. What's being called a super pestilence is sweeping U.S. as cases skyrocket in major cities, forcing school closures and the covering back. Wake up, America. So you have a new pestilence, a new strain of influenza, I'm going to say pestilence, has begun spreading rapidly across major cities, prompting expert officials and others to raise alarms about a potentially severe flu season. According to the Daily Mail, this viral variant, identified as H3N2 subclade K, has been detected in multiple regions worldwide and is causing spikes in case numbers earlier than the previous years. This pestilence is a muted form of the influenza A. Unlike typical seasonal flu, strains that public health officials expect each winter, and this variant has accumulated a number of genetic changes that different, differentiate it from the strain used in this year's flu remedy. Follow me with the code words here, guys. Now, this is the one that is getting a lot of people sick. I mean, this is brutal stuff here, guys. Because of the mutation, the pestilence appears to spread more efficiently and partially evade the protection offered by current remedy. Across affected cities, expert departments, the health departments, have noted an unusual increase in the pestilent cases. All right, some regions are reporting very high flu spread, with laboratories confirming that the pestilence as the dominant strain among recent samples. This surge has led to earlier than usual flu activity for the season. And public health companies are intensifying efforts to encourage the remedy, hygiene measures, and precautions to limit spread. They're trying to find something, guys, to stop this spread. But this spread is out of control. It's just expanding. Although this pestilence is novel to many populations, and thus more people may be susceptible to infection, experts stress that the existing flu shot still provides valuable protection, particularly against severe illness, hospitalization, and death. Even if the remedy doesn't perfectly match the new subclade, it can still help the immune system recognize similar strain and blunt the impact of infection. Now, you have hospital in some areas have already seen an uptick in patient admissions related to influenza, straining emergency department and clinical resources, school closures, and mask advisory in community setting have been used as a precautionary measure in response to increased outbreaks, especially among young ones and older adults who are more vulnerable to complication. Once again, you have the public health authorities are advising everyone aged 6 months and older to receive their, look at this, the remedy, the prune juice, if they have not already done so. Alongside the remedy, individuals are encouraged to wash their hands frequently, stay home when, again, feeling ill, and consider masking in crowded or high-risk environments to reduce the transmission of respiratory pestilence. All right, so that's where we are right now with this one here, guys. So we are definitely seeing something here, and it's rising. It's rising. Let's go with this news now. Rumors of wars is building up. The U.S. commander, Donald, has said he's ordering a total and complete blockade of all sanctions oil tankers going into and out of Venezuela. Ooh, Russia and China's not going to like that. Therefore, today, I am ordering a total and complete blockade of all sanctions oil tankers going into and out of Venezuela, Donald added. Now, his post came a week after the U.S. seized an oil tanker off the coast of Venezuela, a move that marked a sharp escalation. Our Washington pressure campaign said Venezuelan leader Nicolas Gov. In the post, the U.S. president said Venezuela was completely surrounded by the largest armada ever assembled in the history of South America. He added that it will only get bigger and be like nothing they have ever seen before. Donald also accused Nicholas Gove of using stolen oil to finance themselves. Here you go, the gang operation. All this stuff here. So I'm just going to skip the names, guys. There you go. That's some very disturbing stuff there. Donald administration has repeatedly accused Venezuela of the drug operation since September. The U.S. military has taken at least 90 and strike on boats it has alleged were carrying drugs and other into the U.S. Now, in recent months, the U.S. has also moved warship into the region of Venezuela, home to some of the world's largest proven oil reserves, has in turn accused Washington of seeking to steal its resources. All right, so once again, this is the big news that's coming out not too long ago. Donald has just ordered a blockade of sanctioned oil tankers in and out of Venezuela. We're going to go with the next news. I don't know what in the world is going on here, but boy, oh boy. Yeah, that looks not good. So, a mysterious demonic monolith has appeared in California desert, adorned with screaming faces, twisted bodies, serpents, and a giant eye carved into its center. Standing more than 9 feet tall, the black statue was spotted by several visitors in Joshua Tree National Park over the past few days. This country's seeing a whole bunch of different idols and statues and stuff like that. This country once stood for Christ, and now we got this stuff going on here. Our beloved sleeping giant is not gonna make it. The people need to repent though, but every empire comes to an end. Standing more than 9 feet tall, the black statue was spotted by several visitors. So witnesses claim it groans every few minutes. What? Glows at night and is covered in hundreds of sculpture of corpses. Word of the strange structure exploded online after TikTok video went viral, with the creator insisted it's not a hoax. It's not AI. It's real. It wasn't here yesterday. Now, drivers passing along Highway 62 also reported seeing smoke drifting off the monolith as they drove by. The eerie discovery has sparked a wave of fears and conspiracy, with some speculating it could be part of a ritual site or a warning of an ominous event yet to come. But soon, an entirely different theory emerged. Canadian video game journalist Geoff posted about the monolith on X, igniting speculation that the statue could be tied to an upcoming game reveal. Once again, because Kelling organizes one of the biggest gaming events of the year, fans assumed the mysterious figure might be a teaser for an anonymous project. Gamers quickly began connecting the statue features to different franchises. Alright, so we're going to skip the rest. But, it could be a video game, promo, whatever. It's just, again, it's an idol. It's an idol. It is an idol. Alright, so give me a second here, guys. Yeah, it seems like this is all the information. We basically made it to 30 minutes already. Yeah, we basically made it to 30 minutes. But I'm just going to end it here, guys. But this is where we at. There's a lot of stuff happening in the world. So Donald is going to be announcing something today at 9 p.m. All right, so he's going to address the nation. At the same time, you got some Venezuela wars going on. You got Elon Musk saying no more money is going to be replaced. You got all these pestilence already spreading everywhere. And this is all related to Bible prophecy. We are seeing it, we are living it, and we are witnessing scriptures, guys. And again, people need to start repenting. Put your faith and trust in Jesus Christ. The Bible speaks about all this stuff. None of it is good. None of the stuff that I just said to you is good. But we do have something that's, that God has given us. John 3:16, for God so loved the world that he gave his one and only begotten Son, that whoever believes in him shall not perish but have everlasting life. Now Jesus brought the good news to both Jews and Gentiles. And Jesus says, what I bring to you is peace. What the world offers is destruction. But Jesus already defeated death, and that door, that cross, is the door to heaven. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Yeah, have a good night. God bless you all. Till next time later. Peace.